Every time I go like that, I get a little jolt up the backside from Mr. Naylor.
Well, in the entertainment sphere, we have situations that are going on. When I was younger, everybody would say, well, you always keep pointing back because it's some good points here. When I was younger, I was introduced to a lot of British television, via PBS, via independent stations like WWOR Channel 9. I was introduced to some good dramas, good comedies, good science fiction because of British television. They had some great stuff. Stuff that, like upstairs, downstairs, The Good Neighbors, Doctor Who, and of course, one of my favorite, next to Doctor Who, one of my favorites, Red Dwarf. Red Dwarf was one of my favorite TV shows. And it's been around a long time. And I know we've had a lot of problems with it. And it's just, there's been internal fights within the producers of this show. And it was going on for quite some time. Even though we've gotten about, 12 seasons? About 12 seasons, and some movies in between. And now that we finally resolved the situations and we finally have made agreements to the situation that, all parties are going to separate to two levels, that one will produce the standard series and the other one will produce sort of a sideline series called Titan. So far so good until just recently. And we just got this, if you're familiar with the actor Craig Charles, he plays Lister on Red Dwarf, and he has posted some troubling news, some real troubling news. And I'm going to read this off of what he said. He says, "I'm not sure that it will come back, to be honest, and I know that the deal that we had to make it this year looks like it might not be happening now. I can't really say any more on that because I don't know much more, but I just know that there have been a lot of conversations about cost, and I think it might be too expensive. It's not that we don't want to do it in the case of we're trying to get it done. It's happening in television all the time at the moment, and there don't seems to be much money around. And this is what's happening in the BBC. And of course, this is what it is. Red Dwarf may not happen this year."
What is wrong with you, lady?
You killed it! It was beautiful and you blew it out! Oh! You maniacs! You blew it out! Damn you! God damn you all to hell!
Who knows when it will happen. Screen Rant posted some articles on this. I'm going to read one segment of it. What Red Dwarf's production trouble means. The UK television industry faces difficult decisions. Red Dwarf's new season could potentially be another casualty of the uncertain state of the UK film and television industry. While larger entities such as the BBC and Channel 4 are adjusting and making difficult cuts amid funding uncertainty, viewership habits pivoting to the streaming, reduced advertising revenue, and rising production costs have created a scenario where work on UK productions have slowed down and smaller independent companies are left struggling to stay afloat. Despite its role in global production, the industry in a precarious position, many hope to avoid a collapse or rely on government intervention. And this is what the situation is going on. And this is for quite some time. You have to remember, the BBC is funded by television licenses. For those of you who do not know what that is, in the United Kingdom, if you plan to watch the BBC network on television, you have to have and pay for a license.
Damn!
To do that. In other words, to have a TV, you have to have a TV license. How insane is that? And supposedly that money goes toward the BBC, to fund the BBC. not taxes that are in the country, not government dollars. No, your dollars goes to pay for the BBC network, whether you agree with the content or not. This is why a lot of people have in the last 10 years have canceled their license, because basically the BBC itself has become just a political activist channel.
And that's nothing but pure and simple old-fashioned communism.
You've seen what they've done with their program. You've seen what they've done to Doctor Who. And you see what they're trying to do to the classic Doctor Who. They're trying to change it and remold it, which I had to sit back a moment and say, should I do a video on it? No, let everybody else talk about it first. And then if it comes down to it, we'll discuss it. And here's my 2 cents to that situation. War Games, fantastic story. I have it on VHS. It's 3 VHS tapes. It's one of the best episodes from the Second Doctor, and one of the longest storylines on this stuff. They've decided, number one, to colorize it. That's the first thing, which is ridiculous in itself. You don't colorize something that it basically. That's the thing that gets me, is that people say, well, we want to see it in color. It was filmed in black and white for a reason, because didn't have color then. We would actually, after War Games, we transitionalized into color. But you have to remember, cameras, lighting, the set, everything was set for black and white. What you're doing is you're going over there using computer and probably some AI to try to color it in. I don't want to see that. I really don't. The other half is you've subtracted or added things to the storyline. For example, I think it's the War Marshal. You're trying to make it sound like he's the Master. That was an original incarnation of the Master. They said, oh yeah, it's the Master. But the thing about it is, that is a slap on the face of the late Roger Delgado, who was the original first Master in the series. You have to remember something. There were other Time Lords. It's not Doctor Who and the Master were not the only Time Lords. You had the Ronnie, you had the Monk, you had, there were others out there that didn't stay on Gallifrey, that went out of Gallifrey. Why are you going to put to the emphasis, what are you going to say, that the Monk is also the Master? We know the Ronnie isn't, because the Ronnie and the Master have met together. Or are you going to change that around? But this is part of the situation that's going on there. And the more and more money that the BBC loses, and for the entities that they are, and not even getting into the controversies that they've been trying to hide for many years of sex abuse and CP and all that, they've become just literally just a pile of shit. Just like a lot of the stuff in Hollywood these days. I mean, we have another story coming in either this week or into next week that basically now they're going to be going after streaming sites like Netflix and Disney Plus that you'll have to pay to watch it in the United Kingdom.
Yeah, of course you will. That's very... What?
That's right. You're going to be doubling your cost. That not only you have to pay for a license to watch Netflix, you also got to pay their monthly fee. Think about that for a minute. This is the unstable environment that is going on out there. And now it's beginning to hurt really good shows. I mean, how many more shows, especially the independent stuff, that is really good out there, like Red Dwarf. Red Dwarf is an excellent show. I love the show. It is really, really good. I still do watch it on streaming. Same thing like with Blake 7. Blake 7's another one on there, and probably will be a casualty to the situation. They're probably going to go after it and re-edit it. And they love to take things out. This is the same thing, and we've discussed this on Otaku Thursday about the anime industry, how U.S. IP licensees like to edit out things. We already had a report last week that Disney and Hulu have self-edited a subtext story in the Macross series Dynamite 7. I mean, it's not really a major important part, and I know some people may not like what happens in that, small segment, but it's part of the story. And that's what's been happening in the UK too. You have to remember, you have Ofcom, who's basically controlling what United Kingdom citizens watch and not watch on their broadcast channel. I mean, it's like so much that they're hiding the whole situation of CP and all that in the country itself, and arresting anyone that would dare to freaking speak out about it. This is the hurt that is going on in this country. It's affecting everything, even the film and television industry. I want to see another season of Red Dwarf. I mean, the last one they did with the cats, it was okay, it wasn't great. But I think they can do better. Now that everything's been settled, I think they could have brought out a really good season. You have to remember, these actors are getting up in their age. It's so much longer before they won't be able to do this show. They may retire off, or God forbidding, someone might pass away, which does happen in these shows. I mean, I remember back when I was younger when they had the Red Fox show, and not Sanford and Son. Red Fox did a separate series, and he had passed away during that, and they went on a little bit longer with that series without him, but it didn't do well because it was the Red Fox show. And this happens, people do pass away. And, you look that this is going to happen eventually. How much more time does this production have left? And they say, well, we could probably hire someone to do no, it won't be the same. The comedic team that this is, of the Red Dwarf crew, is fantastic. They handle it all together really, really good, and it's really, really funny. I mean, if you haven't seen this, start watching it from season 1. Yeah, I mean, it's a fantastic comedy. They've had many comedies. I mean, I go back to Monty Python, it's Flying Circus back then, and there's been a lot of comedies since then from the BBC network, and it's a lot of fun. Even stuff that's not done by the BBC, that's done by Thames also. We have Benny Hill. I love Benny Hill. As much as people say, oh, it's too sexist, yeah, too many sexy women, and it was it was a great show. It is people. There are those out there who just literally don't have a sense of humor, don't enjoy entertainment. That just literally, I don't know what they consider entertainment these days, because they feel that, I don't like this because of its content. What are we going to do? I'll tell you what you're going to do. You're going to comment right now, because you're going to take that moment and tell me, what do you think of this? What do you think that Red Dwarf not going to happen this year? Is it going to happen next year? I don't know. Nobody knows right now at this moment. They don't have the finance to do this production. What's going on with Titan? That's the only thing they don't explain. Is Titan still going on, or is it being financed differently? We don't know that as of yet. Probably we will hear from that soon. So let me know in the comments. Take this moment to like, share, and hey, listen, there is a button down there. It's called subscribe, and that helps us so that you'll be able to see more of these videos here on Cutacast TV. Man with the Show, our new slot show, Otaku Thursday. If you like anime and manga, you'll be able to catch us on discussions on that. And we got more that we're working on. We're building this channel up. There will be, eventually down the line, there will be a rebranding of this. And, we're working on that. But first, we got to get those numbers up. We're at this point well over 1,300 100 subscribers on our YouTube channel, and we're well over, I believe we're well over 200 on Rumble, and we're increasing. So we're getting more and more people to join us over on Rumble as well. So until next time, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for clicking on this video, because you know there were thousands of videos you could have clicked on, but you clicked on this particular one. So once again, thank you. Have a good day. Enjoy. Take in some good entertainment, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye now.